In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. He created them male and female and gave a charge to dominate over every living thing. He said, multiply and be fruitful. Yet on this path to living and fulfilling this promise, mountains ought to be climbed. Valleys of fear are somehow impossible to escape. How? Because this promise has eluded many. Many have cried for years with no sign of the word pregnancy. Others are lucky to get pregnant only to lose the child even before the pregnancy is fully formed. But most shattering is when this miracle, after taking its time to form and delivered, gives up on life after delivery. Whichever scenario one finds herself, pain is inevitable. Yet, as surely as the Lord liveth, his promises are yea and amen. His word that none shall be barren or miscarry in the land is too sure to fail. In these last days, there is a revolution. A new era dawns. A new season beckons. Stories and miracles that will cause a revolution in your belief system and doctrines of faith. Yes, when God steps into the situation, he settles the childless woman with child, making her a joyful mother of many. Are you ready? It's season 5 of the My Faith, My Womb revolution. Lights, camera, action.
Good evening, faithful family. It's another Sunday, and I'm so excited to come back to your homes with My Faith, My Womb show. Yes, another testimony loading. Yes, this show is proudly powered by Divine Media HD and Divine Media Online TV. We are also supported by Seek of Clothing. You can see my beautiful dress is made by Seek of Clothing and Dinelli Styles. Now, this evening, we are poised to hear another epic story. Another story in the Faith Revolution series, and I hope you are ready. If you are not following us on any of our social media handles, kindly do well to follow us on My Faith, My Womb on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. Search for Divine Media Online TV and you find all the old episodes there as well. Now, we will take our fruitful word, and when we come back, we will have our story for tonight. Sit. We'll be right back. Tonight's fruitful word is taken from Romans chapter 5, verses 3 to 4. And this particular translation is from the Message Bible translation. And I read, "There's more to come. We continue to shout our praise even when we are hemmed in with troubles, because we know how troubles can develop passionate patience in us, and how that patience in turn forges the tempered steel of virtue, keeping us alert for whatever God will do next." Hey, you watching me, I don't know what God intends to do next in this season of your life, but there's one thing I can assure you, that you got to remain tall. You need to stand tall, no matter the wind of affliction blowing, no matter the wind of troubles brewing your way. It's important you remain standing firm, because listen, the challenges you are going through right now is developing perseverance. It's developing character in you for the next level. So if you forget anything I said tonight, don't forget what I said. Keep standing tall. We'll be right back. I'm sure you can already hear the melodious voice of my miracle baby. He is ready to share his story. So yes, don't go anywhere. When we come back, my guests are already seated. And you can see today we are out of the Divine Media HD studios, coming at you from a very lovely residence of our guest. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Okay, so each Sunday on the My Faith, My Womb show, we have the privilege of hearing beautiful stories intertwined with pain, joy, sadness, disappointment, rejection, and all sorts of, emotions. But at the end of the day, we smile because Jesus always wins the victory through the testimonies of the miracle babies. And that is why, if you are here watching us for the very first time, this show is proudly made or brought to you to encourage couples that are waiting or couples that are on the journey of infertility and trusting God for the fruit of the womb and any other miracle I should mention. This evening, my guests are one of such. My guest and his wife are the CEO of Olive Organs, and his wife is a beautiful mama of one and an accountant by profession. This evening, yes, there's a melody you are going to hear because our guest is also a prolific music director and keyboardist. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are ready with me, let's welcome Mr. and Mrs. Samuel Kofi to the My Faith, My Womb show. Mr. and Mrs. Kofi, how are you doing? Okay, you are welcome to the My Faith, My Womb show. I have longed for this day because when I heard your story, one of the days I told my husband I wished we were filming that day because it was too fresh from the oven. But I thank God because whatever God does is good when it comes to timing. And today is the day the Lord has made and we are here. Are you happy? Are you excited to share your story? I like that. I like that. I like that. Well, life, they say, is a blend of harmonious tunes. And for you, Mr. Sammy, being a prolific keyboardist, I know that it's been a roller coaster, as I said before, of emotions. And I'm going to start off by asking you, how did this melody we keep hearing from you at the St. Paul's Cathedral Sunday after Sunday, how did the interest even start in the first place?
Well, I'll say it started right from infancy. My dad was an organist, so I got my inspiration from him. But he realized, like my interest in music was quite up there. But the truth of the matter is music doesn't pay in Ghana. It doesn't pay well, especially if you want to become a choir master or
Right.
a senior director in a church. So he actually wanted me to become a doctor. Then we had our quarrels here and there. It was like, you know what, you finish with mine, and since music is your passion, then you go and do that.
Wow.
So I was through it till there was a day they dissolved the St. Paul choir. That is when I actually tested myself to see whether I can actually handle a church service. So for about the period of 5 or 6 months, I was the one handling the St. Paul Cathedral.
Wow.
And during that period, I would say I was the youngest to be playing for a cathedral.
Wow.
I was around 14, 15,
Wow.
but I was playing for a cathedral. Can you imagine? And little did I know I would even become a choir master one day.
And that is a big deal. If you are in an Orthodox church and you hear of anyone being a choir master, it's a really big
It's
deal.
a big position.
Yes.
Big position people are actually vying for.
Oh, yes.
People are actually killing for it.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It's a big deal. But how have you been able to, manage that? Being one of the very youngest choir masters we have in Ghana, how have you been able to manage that?
Well, it's not easy. But you see, with God, we manage our way.
That's right.
We always get through. It's difficult, but we get through it all the time. Especially going to work and they'll tell you they're having a 1 week celebration, or let's say a funeral on Friday.
You have
It's
to
any
all
matter.
time. It's hard.
Sometimes you have to sacrifice the allowance you get on that day just to go and please some couple I don't even know. Some people have weddings on Tuesday. I don't even know them. But you go and play, you lose some money at work. But, well, it's work for Nyame.
I like that work for Nyame. Oh, it's work for Nyame. I love that. I love that. I love that. Let us know where you are watching us from, and let us know if you are enjoying the conversation so far. My mini miracle is telling me that, Mama, it's time for you to get to my story. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, baby. Don't worry. Now, let me come to you, Mrs. Kofi. Your smile tells it all. I'm sure you have longed equally for a day like this. Maybe not to necessarily share your testimony, but a day you can just sit and watch your miracle sitting, also playing, and have the privilege to call this man mine or my own. Exactly. How is the feeling like being a mother?
The feeling is overwhelming. I can't express it so much because whenever I talk about being a mother, I become so emotional. I can't stop thanking God. At all times, when he's crying, I thank God. When he's eating, I thank God. When he's disturbing, I thank God. I can't express my joy. I thank God. That is all I can say.
Please, don't get out for the gems this one has already started dropping. The gift of gratitude. And I'm sure one thing you are also thankful for is your husband. If a young woman is watching you now, what should you tell her to look out for in a man as a husband?
To me, this is $1 million question because I find it difficult advising ladies choose this type of man because of how human we are. Kind of like how humans are.
That's right.
So all that I can tell the young people like me is that put your request before God.
That's right.
Tell God what you want. See then the ones you dislike, and He will prepare the right person for you. That's all I can say.
So, in summary, prayer does everything.
Yeah, that's all.
Prayer does everything. I love that. I love that. Now, let's get to my favorite part of the whole story. I know when did you get married actually?
2019.
2019, yes. The same year I think I was expecting. And did you have it in mind that, pregnancy will just come just like that for you?
Well, I thought I would get it so easy because it's a normal human nature. You menstruate, you see. So if you meet with your husband, I thought it should come swiftly and then life was fun.
So, within after about how many months did you realize that things are not beginning to knock things?
Let's say, in my case, God was good to us. Around that's 5 months after marriage, I realized I got pregnant.
Wow.
So God was good, or He has been good, and He's always good. But the unfortunate happened. I think 6 months journey into the pregnancy. So it was 20 weeks of the pregnancy. I woke up one morning and I realized I started bleeding. So my husband rushed me to the hospital, only for me to be diagnosed. And the reports I had was my cervix had opened and baby wants to come out.
Oh my God.
They had nothing to do that to put me into labor. Forced labor to push out the baby. I think along the contraction process. I lost the baby. The baby died in my knee. So imagine pushing a dead. Imagine.
Truth is, I can't even imagine it.
No. The pain was severe.
Mama,
The pain.
Mama is here.
I
Mama,
went through a lot of pain. I become very emotional when I'm talking about it, so I don't like to talk about it.
You know. Please, can I get some tissue, please? Thank you, Tina.
That day it's a day I will never forget. And I'm praying to God to help me forget. I went close to near pain, pushing a dead baby. But at a point, I thought of giving up. But the second in my the Holy Spirit was telling me not to give up. So I had to put in my last breath to bring out this dead baby. God was good. She eventually came out because it was a girl.
Oh, I'm sure she would have had your beautiful smile too.
And then that time, I don't know what happened. Now the pregnancy is not coming.
After that experience, the pregnancy ceased coming.
First, the first. Then, in January 20, so that happened in 2020. Then in January 2021, my husband was close severely sick.
Wow.
So what can I do? What can I do? And we were trusting God. You have to switch from thinking of getting a baby to making sure he's well and fine before we can come back. Went through a lot of medical treatments. Been praying. For me, I'm a staunch member of NSPPD. I don't know if you've heard of that. I'm a staunch member. I don't miss it. Alpha Hour, I don't miss it because I was trying all colors. Apart from going for medical treatments, I know it is God who can give me a child.
Right.
So I didn't leave God out at all. With continuous fasting and prayer.
Wow.
At a point, I told God, if you don't give me a child, then this grace is becoming too much.
Oh my God.
The mockery is becoming too much. The medical had everything you can think of medically. So you can imagine the amount of money it has drained from our pockets. Trusting God for the fruit of those.
A miracle that seems so close and yet so far away. Mr. Sam.
it is something else. Personally, that's why my wife doesn't know about it, but when we kept trying and it was not working, I went to the church one day, I opened the organ, I played a hymn and I put my request before God. I was like, God, so if amongst all the people in the world, if you want to take someone's child, should it be him? After all that I've done for him.
In your kingdom.
All that I've done, even to the extent that when I was even writing BEC, they were having a revival. When every child was learning, I was playing.
Wow.
Just for your work to go on well. So if you take anyone's baby away, shouldn't be mine. So at a point, my faith was kind of diminishing. Then the doctor will talk to me. He's like, it's normal. He has also gone through the same thing before. It's normal. Just have faith. Have faith. I'm like, I've been hearing these stories in the Bible, Job and whatever, but this one, there, hey,
See,
a whole me. A whole me, pa.
I like the way you put it there, homie.
That's not good.
But let me ask. So at that point when she was going through these emotions, you were also having your fair share of emotions.
Oh, yes.
So how were you still able to cover it up and make her feel safe?
For me, no matter how disturbed I am, I cannot go to bed disturbed. So even if we have our own, I would say, a fellowship, before we go to bed, everything must be normal. Everything must be normal.
Wow.
If I did something she doesn't like, I'll give you my bed. Because the process through which we can make a baby is there.
Yes, that's right.
And if we had loggerheads, maybe the devil is the one putting
Yes.
such things between us. So for me, that's one of the recipes I'd always advise people. No matter your circumstance, don't go to bed angry. Don't go to bed angry.
Don't go to bed angry, and it is getting hotter. Now, Mrs., you said something profound. You said that as you were praying, one of the things you kept telling God is that, God, the mockery is becoming too much. This is, share with us one experience that, I mean, when you close your eyes, this brings so much burden on you, over you, in terms of being mocked about trying to have a baby.
Okay. So, the whole of 2021 elapsed. Okay. So, 2022, I lost my father-in-law. And we're preparing for the funeral and everything. Just around a week before his death, my brother-in-law and his wife had their child. So they couldn't come. The wife couldn't come for the funeral. So I had to stand in to make sure everything the in-laws has to do, I do it. Then at a point in the funeral, like in the funeral process, we had to display some of the, the traditional things.
The those things.
And all the
Yes.
things to display it. So I did mine, and my brother-in-law's family to date DS on their child's behalf. Then I could hear people saying from the funeral ground, and they didn't hear me. I did those hearing what? With some war. And someone came to tell my mother about it, that these people were saying that your child should be fine, but not displaying at the field and showing off things.
Oh my.
It broke me down so much so that it reminded me of the thing, because that pain I went through in losing my child was not in. My life was at stake at that time. And as I'm going through all those, trying to get a feeling, trying to conceive, for you people to sit there and say this to me, I said, God, I won't allow it again. You have to do something. So from that point, I decided not to go to church again. I'm sorry to say that.
These are conversations, they are difficult conversations, but we must have them, because I had my own fair share of this in my own church, so they are difficult, but it is the truth. And we need people to stop doing these things.
And it came from my faith. Before then, I've been hearing a lot of things. If my husband had married their child, by now their child would have given him a baby. And he has decided to marry someone like me. He's still now. I can't even have a child for him. But I overlook all of those comments. But the one that puts me so much so that I've sat down for my brother-in-law's wife to have a baby, and I'm there. I'm unable to give birth for my husband. I should go and find a child, not displaying DRC and all those stuff. It got to me so hard because that statement reminded me of But pain, I was like, so didn't they see with a pregnancy that one in 2020?
And for lack of a better word, it was even during lockdown. So how were you able to cope mentally during that period?
So like the grace of God, however, I saw at a point, from that time, I decided not to go to church again. That does not mean I didn't trust that it is God who will deliver a child. I still believed that it is like God who can deliver a child. So in as much as I was not going to church, I was still under his nose at all times. Asking for a child. Praying to God at all times. Series of fasting, crying that God, please come through for me. Come through for me. That this grace is too much for me. I can't bear it again. God, please come through. God, please come through. That was my request. I've been asking God. So, I think God touched one of our doctors' hearts. So he looked for me, invited me to his office, had a conversation with him. Then he said he just wants to help him. So he started with me. He started a whole medical process with me again. But along the line, when that process it was flowing,
No, fertility intervention is actually easy and the ones, funny enough, the ones you actually think might be, so easy and smooth comes with their own complications and wow.
so I went through a lot. I've tried all fertility, but procedures.
From IVF to insemination to other.
If you're a woman who has gone through all of this, you know the pain that comes with each process. Has all been easy.
The changes cycle.
The pain that you go through, even the pain that you go through, and at the end of the day, it comes out with a negative report. It was very good. But I still trusted in God. That is the ultimate. Never lose trust in God. He will come through. Keep knocking at the door.
I like the way you say keep knocking. You have to knock till the door breaks down.
Yeah.
You have to knock till the door breaks down. So at what point did this journey for this awesome, beautiful, handsome miracle baby begin? When that door broke down?
Oh, that door, it's eventually broke down. I had to push it so hard for it to break. So, I think last year, in August, I took my mind off myself. Now, at a point, I told myself, I've done the best I could. But now I've left everything to you. At the point where I made that decision, I think I presented a date before God. That on the 15th of September, 2022, I will get you a pregnancy test. I had that feeling. Like, ask my husband, so I said,
please, wait. Man of God, you are getting into realms.
Oh, yes.
Faith realms.
Yes.
You just woke up one day and decided to write a date.
You see, I told you I'm a staunch member of NSPCB. So at a point, one of our prayer episodes, the pastor says, write a congratulations for it. So I wrote for myself, dear Mrs. Priscilla, and that Kakushi, I congratulate you for carrying your baby. And on the 15th of September 2022, you will test positive. Yeah.
The faith revolution. Oh my God.
Yes. So anytime I pray, I put that congratulation note before me and I pray over it all the time. So on the 15th of September, I prepared my everything, got my pregnancy test and everything down. I didn't sleep. When it was 12 o'clock, immediately it was 15th September at dawn. I woke up from my went to the washroom. If like asked my husband, went to the washroom to try to touch it. And the main room, when I touched it, I saw the like, I said, God, thanks.
Listen, woman of God, we are going to do a spiritual exercise right now. If you are watching us, go and pick a paper. Write your own congratulatory note. Put your name there. I, Mrs. ... I will test pregnant by, put your date there. Listen, we have connected in faith. So whatever we are doing, we are agreeing in faith that it is happening, just like it did for her.
Yeah.
And in fact, even in the chat, I want you to also type it in this chat. You will screenshot it when you finish typing, and you will save it. And on that day, when you test pregnant, you will take a screenshot of your test kit, and you will also bring or put a grade on the day you also make the comments, or you put the chat there that I I congratulate myself. So we are doing these two things. First, type it here in the chat section about your congratulatory note to yourself, and also go and pick a piece of paper and write. This is a very prophetic time, and I don't want you to miss this moment. It's a very prophetic time. Don't miss this moment. Word of God. And you tested positive.
I tested
at
positive.
12.
I took a snapshot of my phone on the 15th of September. I said, God, you've answered my prayer. I didn't know we were listening to him. So you could listen to me, but your time was the best. I was so happy. Then I prayed that God, please preserve this pregnancy for me. Preserve this for me. Wow. And that was the start of the journey.
Okay, let me defend small. Let me just say, how was the 9 months journey for you?
Hey, it was also a hard journey. It was not easy. I didn't get it easy at all. I think the devil has decided that for you, this woman, I'll fight you to the core. Then I also said, I'll fight you to the core.
Thank you. And that's it.
I'll carry my testimony. I'll carry my evidence.
I'll carry my evidence. Nothing missing, nothing broken. Thank you.
So it was not easy. I had to 3 months. I had to have some minor surgical process just to help preserve the baby. I went to the theater 3 months to have that minor surgical process. Then I was fine. In that process, if my husband can testify, it was a painful process.
Another level of pain.
Another level of pain for me too. Not having it easy, but I knew what I was looking for. So I told myself, once I regardless of the pain, I'll go through. So I went through, then 26 weeks again.
Again, the devil decided to strike.
I said this time, I was not bothered, I was not shaking because I know where I am. I know the altar of fire I belong to. Well, I was admitted at the hospital for like 3 weeks. But that one too, I didn't joke with my prayer. Because I knew at this point, it is only God who can come through for me. So that one, prayer, some prayer, some prayer, some ministers of God coming to pray his home. Weeks of injections, just helpful, preserve those bones. It went through. So after 2 weeks, I was discharged. At that time, I thought it was weeks. So it's like 6 months of pregnancy. I came home for like a week. Then I was admitted again.
Another episode
of.
But there was a discharge. So as soon as she told me this discharge, it reminded me of the first pregnancy. And I'm like, hey, let's go back.
Not happening here.
So when we went back, it was like, okay, now, no baby, no home syndrome. Imagine me going to work, taking care of wife in the morning, you come in the afternoon, coupled with practice. So at a point, I had to write a letter to the church that, you know what, I think it's time for you to choose another choir master, because I can't. And they were like, no, they still want to maintain me. And I'm like, I cannot tell you my problem, but it's becoming too much for me. But I had to organize everything, coupled with choir practice and everything. It worked. So for those of you who know me, Holy Morgans was silent. If you call me for rental,
Miracle wants some milk.
if you tell me you need my order on rental babies, I'm like, you know what, it's not available. The people are like, what is happening? You have no idea. The miracle baby we are expecting wants also come. I'll do everything in my power to ensure that he comes out alive. So you stay at the hospital, forget about the money. Because she was concerned about the hospital bill. But I'm like, don't worry, the baby is enough. So even if they are going to book you in a room which costs thousands CDs a day, don't worry, just be in that room for me. I even had to get her internet in the hospital so she can still browse and do her NSPPD.
Bless you.
Yeah.
As that journey was also not easy, because imagine lying at one place for like 3 months.
3 months.
For like 3 months. You don't know, you don't even go the washroom. The only time you get down from the bed is when you want to ease yourself. Apart from that, you lie in bed rest throughout.
Let's explain. Been through so much. Oh my God.
There's so much wasting, back pain, head baby,
And you can't tell.
you can't. I was always with you. I said, God, why? God, why? Is it only me? God, why? I said, don't worry. I'll take you feed. Back to you. So 38 weeks. I went to the theater again.
And this time,
That's fine.
what will you be your shout? Oh.
And this time,
This time.
I was going to carry my evidence.
Yes. Oh my
I was going to see
God.
my evidence. So I woke up and dressed up well that the plane was ready to take into the theater. Oh yeah. And just around 3 minutes, I had. I was like, oh God, thank.
Oh my God.
Oh, how come I have my evidence today? I have my testimony. I have my bundle of joy. God has shut the mockery and the stuff. The mouth of the devil. Those attacking, saying evil things about me. God has brought it to an end. Like, thank you so much.
God has vindicated you.
He has proven to the world that He is able to do it
It's okay.
exceedingly, abundantly, above all that we can. I thank you so much.
Oh my God. Listen, please forgive me. I just have to clap. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. I have to clap. No, there's nothing to be forgiven for. I have to clap because Master Jesus deserves the praise. If you haven't been through this, you might not understand. That's why I always say that until you understand or hear people's story, you won't appreciate the praise that comes from them. And all through your submission, you kept saying prayer, prayer, prayer. Like you have literally gone to war with prayer and come out alive with what you were looking for.
Yes.
That is just it. Viewers, I hope this story challenges your faith to rise from the ashes, if you've contemplated giving up, let this be a testament that God is still working out something good for you. You may not see it. You may not even understand what is going on. But if you hear this bundle of joy, and his tears are prophecy.
It's okay. It's okay.
His tears are prophecy, so catch the river and receive that God, let this cry of a baby enter my home in Jesus' name.
That's right.
I am so blessed tonight, and I'm so thankful that we got to share this story. Mr. and Mrs. Kofi, tonight, a couple is watching you. A couple is on the verge of divorcing because of this issue. A wife is on the verge of committing suicide from the statement someone said to her last week Sunday at church. A man can no longer go for men's fellowship meeting because when they met, statements like "now what's your school fees" were said against him. And the stories and the accusations go on and on and on. We keep hearing them. Because of where we sit, we keep hearing these stories. They keep complaining to us. Old women in the church are dragging young couples and ladies who are in heels because they are telling them because you are in heels, you cannot give birth. So I understand when I talk about mockery. But this evening, I just want you to look in the cameras and talk to another Mr. and Mrs. Kofi in quotes who have drawn inspiration from your story to not give up.
Okay. What I can tell any couples expecting or trusting God for the fruit of the womb is that do not give up. That is the first thing I will tell you. Do not give up. Put your trust in God. Trust that He is able to do it. He has done it before. He can do it for you too. Just keep knocking at His door. And if you need a medical treatment too, take that step, because it is God who has given the wisdom to the doctors. So take that step too and keep praying. Close your ears on all negative thoughts, because that negative words can give you depression. It can kill your spirit, as if you are not a human, as if what is your purpose on this earth. But I had to tell you that God is able. So have your faith high and keep praying. He will come through for you, just like He has done it for me. He will do it for you.
That's okay.
He will do it for you too. As a family, let's hear from you too as well.
Well, for me, I would say, as a man, if you think you are going through frustrations, try as much as possible to make the woman okay, because whatever you are going through, she's feeling it either times 4 times 5. Because at the end of the day, even if the man is impotent, they usually put that blame on the woman.
That's right.
As the barren one. So imagine. So for me, all I did was, you know what, keep her out of this depression mood or whatever. Try and make her happy. Even if you have to step out, go out and have fun, you just have to do it. So for me, that's the advice I give to couples. As the husband, try everything possible. And let me use this opportunity to thank my wife. Because for me, at a point of my feet, I'd say, if it was a fuel need, it was in danger. It was actually blinking. Because I kept asking, God, why me? For all that I have done. Me. I mean, I'm able to the madzy. So no, not me. But my wife kept the fire on. Alpha our friend. Sam, let's pray. Leave me. In the morning, I'll be going to work, so allow me to sleep. In the morning, okay, let's do NSPP this house small one. I'm like, just get me my tea, let me go. Because in fact, I'm on the Mara, but nothing. So what is there for me to show? But she kept off. I'm like, hey, it's as here I tried to grow grey. So, like joke, I also did the same thing. I was expecting a huge contract from some church. So I wrote the same thing, put it under my bed, and gave myself a date. Lo and behold, it's about a month ago that I got a contract. So I was like, hey.
A virtuous woman who can find.
So it actually works. Okay, so you have to believe in it.
Wow. A wife's faith can move and revolt her husband's faith, shake him up to also do the same thing, and he sees results.
Yes.
This is true Christianity. Wow.
So for me, that's what I have to say to the men. Let's have some patience. It's not easy. I know. We hear the stories. Oh, Sunday school, they tell us, Job, he lost his wife, his children, everything, his money. It's similar to us. Because by virtue, maybe I'll say ours was men's book. We lost everything, but we started everything afresh. And we are okay. They're okay. We lost our babies, not just one. She will take in seed and we'll get another miscarriage here and there. But along the line, okay, after this one dear, God, you are the one who gave him to us. So preserve him for us. Let's see what you can do. And finally, I told you some people were even of the opinion that because they didn't see her baby bump, we bought the baby.
Can you just imagine?
So the doctor was like, you know what's up, before I start, turn on your phone. Shoot this thing. That is your evidence.
That is your evidence.
If someone says you bought a baby, show it to them. Let them know that that's the mother lying there. You are cutting the stomach, the womb. That's the baby coming out. So it's my baby. And thank God, he resembles me a lot.
Oh, yes. He's a
You can't
splendid
say that
image.
we even bought it. We bought him from somewhere.
Mrs. Wutsim Kwa.
Wabre.
But I thank God that tonight he has used your voice to carry this message. And for our time in this season, I keep saying that we are in a season of prayer. Look, there's nothing that can sustain you in this fire except prayer.
Yeah.
And also one of the things, as you both spoke, I sense this level of agreement.
Yeah.
You know, and you also never gave up.
I didn't give up. I remember when we were finding those who came through, we went to our doctor. The doctor says he loves my faith so much so that he himself, he does not understand. I don't know whether he told you. He said at a point he himself, he was...
And nearly gave up because he had done
But-
everything medical.
But anytime he tries giving up, then I will tell him, Mayor, because at a point I said, God, me and Jawu, so I am mommy. It's like Jacob battling with
The angel.
the angel. Says, I won't let you go until you bless me. So at a point, that's what I told myself. God, I won't even be alone. If you don't come through, I won't. So it was fire upon fire, fasting and prayer, fire upon fire. So I took the step. So when you're trusting God for something, don't give up. That is why I can say, don't give up. You will definitely do it. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
People will say all manner of things just to distract you, but focus, because you know what you are looking for. You do it.
Focus because you know what you are looking for and God will do it.
Yeah.
Now, the final thing I'm just going to ask you to do is to please pray for our couples that are watching us tonight. Just say a word of prayer for them for us.
Our Lord and Master Jesus, we thank you this evening for the opportunity you've given unto us to share our testimony. We thank you for blessing us with a child. Father, those days we come before your throne, presenting as a couple, trusting you for the fruit of the initial God. Father, you are able. You can do it. You have done it before. We believe and trust in you. Father, please, we pray, oh God, Father, please come through for everyone trusting you for the peace of the needs. Father, please, the mockery, we want it to come to an end. Father, the tears, we want it to come to an end. The next year should be tears of joy, oh God. Father, as you've done it for me and my husband, we pray that, Lord, please do it for anyone trusting you for the fruit of the womb. Father, please give them testimony. Father, please let joy be their portion. Let them have it. Let them have years of babies in their home, oh God. Father, please come through. You've done it for me, Firstla. Oh, thank you. Father, please do it for them, Jesus. And wipe away their tears. And let joy be their portion. Thank you, God. Thank you for blessing wombs with babies, twins, triplets, singles.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you, God. I know that you've done it. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. In Jesus' name. Oh.
Amen. What a night it has been. I wish we don't have to go, but we have to end. I want to say a big thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Kofi. Thank you for allowing us into your beautiful home. Thank you that even with your busy schedule, being CEO of Olive Organs is not easy, but you have just graciously given us time to come and also share your story so that couples who are out there on this journey can also find faith and hold on and know that God will do it if only they don't give up. I also want to say a big thank you to Divine Media HD and Divine Media Online TV for powering this vision. We salute you, our CEO, Daddy Theo, for all you do for us behind the scenes. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our partners, Seek of Clothing. Thank you for my beautiful dress tonight. And if you are watching, this show is not easy to bring to you each and every Sunday. If you'd like to support in any way, to partner, please reach out to us. There's so much we do behind the scenes, not just the show. If we are doing fertility treatments, we are paying for fertility treatments. We are supporting Nico every single year. And there are so many others we don't, even share. So please, if you'd like to know more about what this ministry does, please reach out to us and let's share with you what we've done and what we also intend to do. All for Nyame, as Daddy Sound said. So, God willing, same time next week, we'll come back to your screens with another exciting episode of the My Faith, My Womb show. It's still the Faith Revolution series, so till I come your way same time next week, my name is Mrs. Wilma Forson. You are blessed, you are favored, and you are anointed. See you same time next week. Good night.